on Foreign Affairs and a House conferee on this measure.
Gentleman's recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank the distinguished gentlelady for yielding and for her leadership on this important legislation. I also want to commend Chairman Berman, who worked in good faith on this legislation as well. It's my honor to serve on the conference committee, and I rise in support of the Iran Sanctions Accountability and Divestment Act. I believe this legislation is urgent, and it represents measurable and meaningful progress in the United States' effort to economically and diplomatically isolate Iran in the midst of its headlong rush to obtain a usable nuclear weapon. It is important not only that we adopt the Iran sanctions bill today, it is important that this administration forcefully implement this legislation. We know the nature of the threat. Iran's made no secret of its intent to use nuclear weapons to threaten the United States and our allies. President Ahmadinejad said in 2005, and I quote, "Humankind shall soon experience a world without the United States and without Zionism," close quote. Led by this anti-American, anti-Israel president, Iran has long associated with terrorist organizations, and this is the central point. Not only would this rogue regime come into possession of usable nuclear weapons should sanctions fail, but it would only be a matter of time before terrorist organizations around the world would have access to this technology. And that is unacceptable. But as we adopt these important sanctions, a word of caution. As has been noted, these sanctions include a number of waivers demanded by the Obama administration. It is essential that the Obama administration carry out the clear congressional intent of passing crippling sanctions on the energy and financial sectors in Iran. As the joint explanatory statement provides, quote, "The effectiveness of this act will depend on its forceful implementation." Iran could be merely months away from acquiring nuclear weapons. They continue to test vehicles that could deliver it. Now is the moment for decisive action by the Congress and decisive implementation. If we act and this administration forcefully implements these sanctions, we may yet see a future of security and peace in the Middle East. But if we fail to act, or if these sanctions are not forcefully implemented, history may well judge this Congress and this government in the harsh aftermath of a flash of light, a rush of wind, and a second historic tragedy. Let that not be the case. Let us act in concert today. Let us adopt these Iran sanctions. And, Mr. President, do not waive these sanctions. I yield back.
Gentleman from California.